2. This is the Pokemon Night Skyfire. I am bringing you a Pokemon 5th Generation Wi-Fi Bella video. I am playing White 2 in this one, and the battle is against Ducky from the Pokemon Wi-Fi Bella.com. You saw the Latios, but you also saw 2 Raikus. Okay, were we on the same wavelength as far as the Raikus go? Probably not. You'll probably see why my Raikou is different from his, but this was, I gotta tell you, this was a really close battle. And I like it that way most times. He's gonna bring in Kazuya, which is his Weavile. I'm gonna bring in Luddington, which is my Raikou. So it's funny that I did bring in Raikou first. So this was a little bit of a funny, but I did also realize they were both using pressure, so this was going to be an interesting start to this battle. He's going to go for a Sword Stance. Obviously, Weavile is faster, but I am going to go for the Thunderbolt first. I would have did a Calm Mind, but I really was wondering if it had a Focus Sash, so I didn't do a Calm Mind first, which probably would have got it down to a Sash. But he does a Night Slash, which takes it down to 24 HP. Staying alive will make the Thunderbolt hit again, and that is a KO on the Weavile, and that's a good start. Now, he brings in Hogodynamic. What kind of a name is that for a Machamp? Well, it didn't matter. He used a Bullet Seed, and that's going to be a big problem there because now Luddington is gone. But, in the case, we're both even 5 and 5. So here comes Providence, which is my Leopard. Now, Providence has been coming in Pokemon battles lately. Don't ask why, but I did use it a little more, I guess. I'm going to go for the Charm to put a -2 on that Machamp. It goes for a Dynamic Punch. Ugh. Takes it down that much, and I get confused. That's the one thing I hate about No Guard Machamps. Everybody uses Dynamic Punch because it never misses. So he goes for the Bullet Punch, and there goes Providence. So this is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to bring in Dayton, which is my Mismagius. I'm going for the Nasty Plot. Since that Weavile's gone, I'm happy that Mismagius can come in and try at least KO that Machamp. Well, the next I am going to see the Stone Age hit, but I get credit. How do you like that, Dayton? I mean, how do you like that? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go for Skycatcher. Let's try this again. I'm going to go for Air Slash this time. And I'm hoping that's a one-hit KO because I really need something to go good for this team. Well, guess what? After Air Slash, I get a flinch. He is going to go for the Bullet Punch. It takes nothing. Thank you very much to that -2 from Providence, which will help in Skycatcher KOing that Machamp with only little damage. So here comes his Raikou, which is named Nimbex. And he's going to go for a Light Screen. What kind of a Raikou is this? I think I realized what kind of Raikou this is because now that I saw Light Screen, it must be trying to use Thunderbolt next, which I predict that. So I was hoping that that Skycatcher is going to stay alive, but it did. So I'm going to see if I can get a Flamethrower again. So the Flamethrower hits again, and I get a burn. Just what Skycatcher needed. So now, let's get Skycatcher out of there. I'm going to switch out into Finn-Niles, and he's going to go for a Reflect. And that was probably the worst timing, because I probably would have did better to do another Thunderbolt and at least put Death Fire on Skycatcher, because then I probably would have had a better chance. He's going to switch out and bring in Galleon, which is his Latios. He was probably predicting an Earthquake, but you know how I am. I do a lot of predictions, and I already knew that he was going to switch out the Latios to prevent any damage on that Raikou that probably would have KO'd with the Earthquake. So, okay. He goes for Ice Beam, takes close to half. I go for an Ice Punch, and that's close to half. Not to mention I do have leftovers. Thank goodness for that. So he is going to go for an Ice Beam again. I have a feeling this might be a Specs Latios. Just a little bit of assault. But then he probably thinks I'm a bandit Quagsire. So who knows? Now he's going to switch out because I thought he was going to keep it again, but he's going to bring in Cup Check, which is his Lucario, and I guess he did predict the Ice Punch was going to come because I was hoping that I was going to KO it. So I figured he was going to try and go for a move, which he does. He went for the Earthquake, which doesn't take much, but I'm going to go for an Earthquake of my own. And that's going to take way more than a little. Matter of fact, it takes it down to about 25%. But he has a Citrus Berry. Interesting enough. Well, I guess Citrus Berry and leftovers are kind of the norms when it comes down to certain Pokemon. Now the light screen is off. Good. So you're going to switch out, bringing Galleon again to try and wall the Earthquake, which I guess he did predict that, so I'm still in a good position to win because all his Pokemon, I think most of his Pokemon are damaged. So he's going to go for the trick, which will switch the leftovers with mine with the choice specs of his. So I was pretty much right that he was using a Specs Latios. I'm going to go for the Ice Punch again. That is going to be a KO on the Latios. So we're about even. But he brings back in Nimbex, which is the Raikou. And I guess since I am locked into Ice Punch, I figured to myself I really wasn't going to worry too much because of the fact that even if I was, it still has burn damage to deal with it, so I wasn't going to really worry that much about it. Because all you're going to do is put up dual screens, and all I'm going to do is Ice Punch it to put a one-hit KO, to put a KO on it, but I come that close, but the burn KO, okay. So maybe, just maybe, the things were looking good. Well, sorta. So I'm going to switch out and bring in Skycatcher. And there is a reason why I did this is because I did predict Sword Stance to come out on Lucario. Because I figured Sword Stance Extreme Speed is pretty much standard for how it's played for Lucario. And I did see the Sword Stance come, and I also did see the Extreme Speed come. So I figured myself Skycatcher was going to be the best way to be Death Spotter. So I decided to let Skycatcher be KO, although I hate doing that, but this makes things better for Finn-Niles because Finn-Niles is unaware of that Sword Stance, so that +2 is at 0 when it comes down to being Finn-Niles. So I am going to go for the Earthquake, and that is going to be a KO on the Lucario. So I am going to say no on that. Now, he's down to his last Pokemon, which is Hydreigon, and he goes to Dark Pulse, and that's going to be a KO on the Finn-Niles. And now down to my last Pokemon, which is Cincinnati, which is my Gino. Now, I was risking it to see if I was going to get a workup to do the +2, +1 attack and special attack because I knew the screens were up. And I was hoping that the Focus Pass would miss, but even if it was, I wasn't too worried because, as usual, when it comes down to having a normal type, I do have a Chople Berry, and I was afraid it was going to go down to 0 and I was going to lose, but I stay alive with 90 HP, and this is the critical point of the game. Now, I say critical for a reason. I use Tail Slap, first move, critical. Well, first hit, critical. Second hit, critical. Then 3, 4, and 5, which is a KO on the Hydreigon. Good key to Ducky, and well, that was a close one. Whew, really close. I would really think that Cincinnati had a chance to defeat a Hydreigon, but hey, anything can happen in this game, and for Cincinnati, it was the best time. Rate, comment, subscribe, give it a like if you like it. This is Skyfire, the Pokemon Max, and have a nice day and see you next time.